What's up top 10 fam, hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. So normally I love eating out. I'm not that good of a cook, so food is always just a trillion times better when I eat out. But then I get the bill and I'm like, that didn't taste as good as I thought and now I'm broke. Hashtag broke ass. As always. Either way, one thing I do like to look for is normal restaurants, not haunted ones. I'm not here to order a mushroom risotto with a ghost on the side and then possession for dessert, like nah B. But if that sounds appetizing to you, then here are the top 10 haunted restaurants you should never eat at. Starting off with number 10 is 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Located in New York City, the restaurant is really nice and bougie. I mean, it was voted 5th most romantic restaurant in the world, so that's saying something. It has 3 different rooms to eat in, a grand piano, wood everywhere, portraits and paintings of people that have been dead for God knows how long, etc. But despite the romantic vibe, it's actually haunted as hell by 20 ghosts according to a parapsychologist. The general manager at the restaurant claims she's been there for 8 years and she's definitely seen it all. Picture frames moving, cold drafts by the bar, machinery turning on by itself, flickering lights, flying plates, and even staff and servers getting pushed around by literally nothing. Some of the waiters have even tried serving the entities who they find sitting at the tables just, to be nice. Many of the servers end up quitting because of their experiences despite none of the ghosts actually doing anything malicious. They're just chilling around mostly. Usually they just pull pranks, like during one period of time women's earrings kept going missing near the bar and camera footage showed no humans stealing them, so clearly we've got some cheeky spirits on our hands. The parapsychologist that visited said all 20 ghosts in the building know of each other, but are all from different time periods. Some think Vice President Aaron Burr haunts the place since it was his carriage house back in the day. There have been sightings of a woman in a black dress that's always walking down the stairs. Apparently she broke her neck falling down the stairs, hence she's never seen going up them. And apparently this is like a really popular place to get engaged in New York, and I just would not want to get engaged with a bunch of ghosts in the background, I'm trying to cry, have my moment, and someone's just throwing a plate. No. Coming in at number 9 is the BUMA Inn. Located in Beijing, China, the restaurant opened in 1953 but has since been renamed the Traveler Inn Huachao. The restaurant is one of the most haunted spots in Beijing, and it's said it's haunted by the ghost of a previous diner. Legend has it that the former head chef poisoned this customer and then later stabbed himself. His spirit is known as the Berserker, and it still roams the restaurant and hotel looking for the chef that killed him. Great Chinese food aside, it'd definitely be a sight to see, and honestly, if I was him, I'd be roaming around looking for that mofo too. I wish I had more info or backstory on why the chef killed the guy, but honestly there was just nothing about it online, so I guess our imaginations are just gonna have to run wild. At number 8 we have the Melting Pot. Located in Littleton, Colorado, the restaurant was a former library and it's basically the original fondue restaurant. You can eat fondues of any kind while having the most intimate private experience ever. Each table has an enclave of its own, so essentially every table is sitting in its own mini room sort of. And now before the restaurant was a library, it was a local jail, and that's where all the creepy ghosts come in. Apparently one of the inmates tried to escape but failed miserably and ended up killing himself and a fellow jailer. How could you have butchered that escape so badly? Mate, really? Really? Either way, the candles lighting the restaurant get blown out by the 2 ghosts all the time, and you know it's them because it's literally not windy or anything, yet they still just magically go out. Diners have even heard whispers in their ears throughout dinner when no one's next to them. I mean, it could be worse, you guys. They could be throwing your cutlery at each other, making for a very interesting dinner, so I mean, it could be worse. Filling our number 7 slot is POOGANS Porch. Located in South Carolina, the restaurant is a really cute and small Victorian house which serves great comfort food, but don't let that fool you because this place is screwed up. The home was built in 1888 and was lived in by various families until it was made into the restaurant in 1976. A woman called Zoe St. Armand used to live in the house with her sister. Both of them had basically given up on the idea of finding love. Join the team, girl. And so they basically depended on each other for literally everything. Company, comfort, support, you name it. But in 1945, Zoe's sister died and Zoe quickly lost her mind over it. She just couldn't get over the fact that she was really dead, and so diners and staff have seen her ghost various times wearing a black dress looking for her sister and calling out to her. I don't think she creates as much havoc as the rest of the ghosts on the list, probably because she's just too heartbroken to do so. So I feel like we can just leave Zoe be and she'll just leave us be, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Either way, I'm not going there. Now at number 6 is Beardslee Castle. Located in New York, Beardslee was actually built in 1860 as a replica of an existing Irish castle. The decor inside is filled with stonework, wall lanterns, all around just castle decor. I mean, they even have a dungeon and that operates as a bar and grill, and they serve typical American food. There have been so many ghost sightings at the castle that it was also on the TV show Ghost Hunters, which I'm pretty sure we've all seen at one point. The New Hampshire Institute for Paranormal Research concluded that there are 2 ghosts that actively roam around the castle, and according to legend, they were Native Americans who were killed in the area back in the 1700s. The castle restaurant was also the site of many suicides back in the day, the death of a bride-to-be who literally died the night before her wedding. So I mean, it's safe to say, other than the 2 ghosts, I'm pretty sure you could catch a sighting of Corpse Bride in there if you really tried. And honestly, that's the second restaurant in New York that's on this list, so I really wasn't aware how many haunted restaurants there are there. I'm shook. I'm really shook. Coming in at number 5 is the Courtyard restaurant at Kennedy School. Located in Portland, Oregon, the school's old cafeteria was turned into a restaurant that mainly served traditional pub food and ales. Basically everything is made on site, including the ales and the beers, but that's not why we're talking about the restaurant now, is it? Like, come on people, I just wanted to give you guys a taster. How many food related puns can I throw in here? I guess we'll see. Either way, there have been so many ghost sightings at the restaurant that the staff actually keep a ghost logbook to record them more. The scariest ones they mentioned were 2 completely translucent women soaking wet just walking around the restaurant, and a boy speed walking circles around the women's bathroom. I wonder what on earth happened to them, but honestly, I would like to see it. Just me. At number 4 is MURIELS Jackson Square. Located in New Orleans, the restaurant opened in 2001 after the building it's located in got heavily restored to its mid-1800s prime and glory. After the Great New Orleans Fire in 1788, many structures in the French Quarter got burnt down, including where MURIELS is currently located. The property was bought by Pierre Jordan, who built his dream home in its place, yet he had a fatal flaw. He could never say no to gambling, and in 1814 he gambled his house in a game of poker and lost. The shock of that was so high that he committed suicide on the 2nd floor before having to hand the house over. Where he committed suicide is currently where MURIELS seance lounges are right now. Staff and customers have seen Pierre's presence in the form of sparkly light around the lounge, and he usually doesn't leave the seance lounge, but I mean, sometimes he does. There is a conspiracy theory. Staff even leave a table empty for him every night out of respect, since he did used to own the place at one point, and that tends to keep him at bay. But the ghost by the Courtyard bar is a different story, or so they think. Here's where the conspiracy theory comes in. Now, this entity throws glasses everywhere, bangs on tables, and tries to communicate with humans desperately. Servers honestly aren't sure if that ghost is Pierre as well when he's frustrated and wanting to cross over to the other side, or if it's a different presence altogether. Is it 2 ghosts? Is it just 1? Who knows? Filling our number 3 slot is the MARSDEN Grotto, or the Grotto if you want to be more casual, and we're all casual up at top 10. So located in Marsden, England, the gastropub is actually partly dug into a cliff face, so it's like a cave bar almost. The restaurant serves mostly seafood since it's by the beach, and it has a very interesting history. We start with Jack Bates, aka Jack the Blaster, who literally refused to pay rent somewhere else, found a small cave in the cliff, and then blasted it with dynamite to make it bigger. He then let smugglers hide contraband products in the caves, and then it was taken over by Scotsman Peter Allen, and then by some more people, and so forth. But the person that stuck around the longest and till this day was John the Gibber. Now, John was a smuggler who apparently got murdered and outed by his criminal amigos. He was hung in a barrel near the cave and left to starve. Mad at the betrayal and peak snakery that he faced, it's said that John never left the cave and is there till this day. He throws ashtrays around, smashes them against the wall, floods the cellar by turning all the beer taps on. Like, that's a dick move, bro. He caused so much chaos that it forced 2 landlords to quit because they simply just couldn't handle it anymore. So if you want to meet this guy, you better get your ass to Marsden straight away. Not me though. Now at number 2 is Restaurant 1833. Located in Monterey, California, this restaurant on the website looks insane. 2 floors and an outside seating area, it just has an old-fashioned, rustic, dimly lit aura about it. Now, the restaurant opened in 1950, but its history goes back to 1833, hence the name. It was sold to a sailor called James Stokes, who got off at Monterey with a case full of medicines and claimed he was a doctor. He opened a pharmacy in the building, or an apothecary, and ended up killing a lot of people since he wasn't a freaking doctor. He ended up making enough money to buy the property and expand it. He then sold it and so forth, and it eventually fell under the care of a woman called Hattie. People have reported seeing weird clumps of fog where Hattie's room was and her ghost itself just around the restaurant. As for James, he committed suicide in front of his sons inside the house, so he's been seen around the restaurant plenty. Both the ghosts are extremely aggressive, banging doors at any and all times and smashing glasses whenever they can. I mean, I get why James is mad because he killed a bunch of people and was a prick, but I don't get Hattie's anger. But hey, we're all going through you know, so do you, Hattie. If you need to break some go right ahead. And finally, at number 1 is 10 Bells. Located in London, the pub has been there in some way, shape or form since the 18th century. The interior is fully Victorian themed, there's murals in there, the flowery upholstery, all that good stuff, it's all in there. It has a private lounge on the top floor, the upstairs bar in the middle floor, and then the downstairs bar, and it serves mostly alcohol and some sharing boards. It was quite popular back in the day and was frequented often by someone you guys may have heard of, Jack the Ripper. Maybe he rings a bell. It was apparently his favorite pub, and the story goes that he used to have a pint in there as he scouted out his prey and waited for his victims. 2 of his victims, Annie Chapman and Mary Jane Kelly, were last seen alive leaving this pub before they were murdered. From 1976 to 1988, the pub was even nicknamed the Jack the Ripper, and memorabilia about him and the murders were everywhere. It was then changed because people realized it was quite distasteful to remember murdered women in that fashion, and hello, yes it is. Either way, legend has it you can sometimes see the ghost of Jack sitting in the corner of the pub, still as a statue, just eyeing out his next prey, i.e. you. Hey man, dead or alive, once a serial killer, always a serial killer. And that's it for today's video, guys. This entire video just made me hungry as I was looking at the menu for each restaurant. I was like, food, get in my stomach now, even though I literally just ate, so like, why am I like this? But jokes aside, these ghosts I can deal with as long as there's no possession involved. I'm honestly okay with it. Let me know if you guys have been to any of these restaurants before and what your experience was if you did down below, as I'd love to know. As always, I'm your host Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!